This casino will pour you free drinks, hand you a free room, even a free steak, and still, at the end of the night, walk away far richer than you. None of that is generosity, and none of it is an accident. Every free thing on this floor is a carefully calculated investment in a single outcome. You staying just a little longer. Because the longer you sit and play, the more certain and more unforgiving the underlying math becomes. So here is the question that nobody working this floor actually wants you to stop and ask out loud. If every game here looks almost fair and people clearly win all the time, then how does the house win every single year without fail? The answer isn't luck, and it certainly isn't cheating. It is something far quieter and far more reliable than either of those. To really understand it, forget the movies. A real casino is not a den of wild risk. It is a machine engineered for pure certainty. Every game on that floor, from the tables to the slots, is built around one small, quiet number called the house edge. It is the tiny, permanent advantage the casino holds on every single bet you place. Win or lose, it never once goes away. Take American roulette. The wheel has 38 pockets, but a winning bet only pays you as if there were just 36. That one small gap quietly hands the house an edge of about 5.26% on all the money you wager. 5% sounds completely harmless. On any single spin, it basically is. You might even win big and walk right out the door, but you almost never place just one bet. You place dozens, then hundreds, over hours, over a night, over many nights. And that is exactly where a cold, quiet law of mathematics slowly takes over the entire room, table by table. The more rounds you play, the more your real results are pulled, inch by inch, toward that guaranteed house edge. Luck is loud, exciting, and short. Math is silent, patient, and endless. And the entire casino is built on the patient half. Now walk slowly across the floor and notice something strange. The house edge is quietly different at every single game. Blackjack, if you play it flawlessly, can push the edge below 1%. On paper, it genuinely looks like the fair game, which is precisely why it sits right near the entrance, bright, lively, and inviting, designed to pull you deep into the room. But almost nobody actually plays it flawlessly. Every small hesitation, every little mistake, quietly hands more of that edge straight back. Wander a little deeper into the floor, and the numbers quietly get worse, usually without you ever once noticing the shift. Keno, that friendly little lottery glowing away on the screen, can carry a house edge sitting somewhere above 25%. As a rule, the flashiest, the easiest, and the most colorful games on the whole floor are very often the most expensive ones to play. You cannot outthink, outsmart, or outluck a house edge. Given enough time, that number always, quietly, collects everything it's owed. So the casino's very first job is simple and quiet. Make absolutely sure the math is given enough time to do its work. And that single goal changes everything about the building you are standing in. On this floor, almost nothing is ever left to accident. Every light, every sound, every pattern in the carpet, every winding hallway is engineered toward one number, your time on the floor, because time, far more than luck, is the real product this entire casino is quietly and expertly selling you. Start with what is strangely missing. Look up at the walls around you, and you'll notice there are no clocks anywhere at all, and there are no windows either. No sunrise, no sunset, no daylight. Nothing at all to signal that time is quietly slipping past. Inside, it could be high noon or 3 in the morning, and honestly your body simply loses all track of which it is. The endless free drinks aren't kindness either. They gently lower your caution and keep you comfortably seated a little bit longer. The cash you walked in with is quickly swapped for bright, colorful chips, and that simple swap matters far more than it ever looks. Chips just don't feel like money. Tossing a little plastic disc onto the felt hurts far less than handing over real bills. So you bet more freely, and a little more often, than you ever would if you were pushing actual cash across that table. Even the layout itself is a deliberate maze. The exits are quietly hard to find, while the games are placed absolutely everywhere. Designers have argued for decades about the very best way to keep you wandering, tempted, past just one more glowing game, and whenever you happen to do well, they will happily comp your room, your meals, your drinks, and your show tickets. It genuinely feels like the casino is rewarding your good fortune. In reality, it is simply buying even more of your time, because every single comp is quietly paid for out of exactly what the math already expects to take from you anyway. They cheerfully hand you back one small slice so that you will happily stay and lose the far, far larger rest. Generosity on a casino floor is really just the cold house edge, quietly dressed up and wearing a very friendly smile. Now turn and look at the machines lining every single wall, because these, not the tables, are the real engine of the whole operation. In many modern casinos, the slot machines quietly bring in the clear majority of every dollar the entire place actually makes. No dealer, no skill, no clever strategy required. Just you, a single button, and a computer that already knows the exact odds. The machine's payout rate is quietly set in advance, decided by the operator, not by chance flickering in the moment you play. But the true genius of the machine isn't the odds at all. It's how it makes the simple act of losing feel like winning. Line up two matching symbols, then just barely miss the third, and the machine celebrates as if you very nearly won it all. Researchers call this the near miss, and it quietly pushes you to reach out and press that button again, almost immediately. Bet across 20 lines at once, win back far less than you staked, and the machine still erupts with lights, coins, and song. You quietly lost money on that spin. But your brain, soaked in sound and color, cheerfully records the whole thing as a win. Scientists studying this even have a cold, precise term for the effect: losses disguised as wins. Every part of the machine is tuned not to be fair to you, but to keep your hand drifting back toward that button. The industry even quietly measures it, on every single machine, with one very telling metric: your time on device. Not how much you win, not how much genuine fun you have, purely how long they can keep you sitting right there, playing. Because on a long enough timeline, that patient little edge quietly turns your time, directly and reliably, into their profit. And make no mistake, they are not guessing about you. That little loyalty card you slid into the machine is quietly watching. Every bet, every spin, every dollar is tracked, logged, and quietly fed into a detailed, growing model of you specifically. From that data, the casino calmly calculates your theoretical loss, precisely how much the math expects to take from you over the long run. That single quiet number decides how they treat you, your comps, your special offers, and how warmly they welcome you back. Lose steadily and reliably, and soon the mailers, the free nights, and the little bonuses begin arriving, all gently pulling you back in. The very biggest players, the ones they call whales, are courted with private jets, top suites, and even rebates on their losses. It all looks like glorious royal treatment. It is really just a business, carefully reinvesting a small fraction of your expected losses. You are not, in truth, a treasured guest being spoiled. You are an account, quietly carrying a predicted lifetime value. And every single perk they hand you is priced, carefully and in advance, to be smaller than whatever you will leave behind. The warmth you feel is completely real. The mathematics running quietly beneath it is colder than the ice in your free drink. So let's step quietly behind the flashing lights, into the one room the players themselves almost never actually get to see. Banks and banks of screens. Every table, every machine, every card, every chip, watched and measured together in real time. Nobody in this quiet room is hoping to get lucky tonight. They are simply watching a number do exactly what it always, reliably does. And on the wall hangs the only figure that truly matters here: the hold, the share of every single dollar the house keeps. Night after night, across many thousands of separate bets, that number lands almost exactly where the cold math always promised it would. The players all came chasing a thrill. The house came only for a percentage, and just one of those two things was ever guaranteed. So turn the whole thing around now, and take a long, honest look back at your own night out on that floor. When you win early, you feel absolutely brilliant, and so you stay a little longer, eager to keep riding that lucky streak. And when you lose, you stay anyway, determined to win it all back. Either way, the house only ever wanted one thing: you, staying. The free drink, the comps, the lights, the sounds, the endless near misses, every last piece of it quietly bought one thing: your time. And time, once you hand over enough of it, is the single bet that the house never ever, under any circumstances, loses. And here's the twist: this is not a scam at all. The odds are printed, legal, and openly disclosed. You quietly agreed to every one. The real genius is that the house never actually has to cheat you. It only ever has to keep you comfortably sitting down. So the next time a casino seems to be generously giving you something for nothing, quietly remember what the real trade actually is. You were never truly gambling against luck at all. You were spending time, and the house, in the end, was always paid in it.